Being the outcast of high school is kind of like a good thing. I just look back some of the kids in high school and like all the ones that were, popular, they ain't popping no more. I like to look back sometimes. I'm like, this is where you ended up. That's funny. School was a sports school. Like all these NBA players went to my high school. We had like a strict uniform. I'd see Bynum, he'd walk around with a do-rag on. And like all the teachers would be like, take it off. And then, of course, they're not going to kick him out because he's like the star.
First 2 years, I was in the dumber classes, right? Cruising through, getting A's. You know what? I want to make a change. I want to move up. I'm taking all these smarter classes. I started getting C's. I started failing tests. I thought I was meant here. People weren't there willing to help you out if you were struggling. That was like the first time where I was in an Asian group and I felt like left out, casted out.
Catholic high school versus public high school.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode... Who knows at this point? I'll put a title so that we could fix it and we'll figure out which one it is. But
we're on episode 7.
7 or 8?
Yeah, this would be 7. No, because the last ones we did were 5 and 6. So we're on 7 now.
Just wait for the title and we'll find out.
So today we wanted to talk about Catholic high school versus public high school. For one, I went to Catholic high school and he ended up going to public high school, which is quite interesting. I feel like the reason for that is because, I don't know, I guess I was the first child. And, with the first child, they always try to do the most with.
That's true.
And I feel like, how they had it wrong. Because out of all our siblings, I was probably the one who probably didn't need the great academics because I greatly failed at the academics. So, I don't know. It's weird, but, I've always been jealous that you went to public high school.
Well, okay, I don't think academics was the thing, but because to be honest, like if you know the history of John P. Stevens, the high school I went to was a public high school.
JP.
Yes, JP. It was one of the smartest public schools in America, like literally in America.
Really?
Yeah, it was famous. I forgot where we ranked, but I think we were like, in terms of public schools, we were definitely in like top 200, top 100. Like a lot of people didn't know that, but honestly, if you went to the high school and you see all the people around, like you can kind of tell why it was our smartest school. Like
it was all Asians.
It was one thing that was cool was that I probably had one of the most diverse experiences in a public high school in Jersey than most other townships.
Really?
Yeah, because like Edison is half. Well, it's like we said before, it's a little India.
Yeah.
So literally half of my student population. I think when I got the yearbook, it was 40% Asian.
Wow,
which is crazy, right?
But you're making it sound like it was like some smart school, and maybe it was when you went, but because I went to the Catholic high school and it was all boys school, and I hated it. I feel like mom and dad sent me there because I was like in my rebel stage and like this kid's too bad. We got to send him to all boys school or else he's gonna get some girl pregnant by the time he's 19 or something.
Yeah.
But I always hung out with the kids at JP Stevens, and like those kids were like some of the worst.
Okay.
Like doing like crazy drugs and yeah.
No, I could feel you on that just because now I could kind of give you a real glimpse of what that world was because going to that school, there's two sides to it.
Yeah.
And I got to experience both. So just to give you some background, me and Mik actually went to the same Catholic school. And we were there from pretty much preschool to 8th grade.
Yeah. Was it grade school before high school?
Yes. Yeah. So grades 1 through 8, same classmates. And then when you hit 8th grade, you're like, all right, it's a new chapter. We're all going to different high schools, right?
Yeah.
Mik got to go to a Catholic high school. I got to go to a public high school. But when I say got to, that's kind of like the wrong term because I didn't want to go to a public high school. I wanted to go to a Catholic high school. I actually wanted to go to mixed school, St. Joe's.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I never told you that?
I feel like you did, but I always wonder, like, why would you want to go to all boys school?
Okay, the reason why was because, like, one, being in Catholic school almost from 1st grade to 8th grade, I was scared of public school kids.
Yeah.
I was scared of public school kids. Yeah. They were different, honestly. Yeah. Like when I was hanging around in middle school and then hanging around with some, I hanged around with some other middle school public school kids, and I was like, these kids are dangerous. They like to get into fights.
Yeah.
You know, they were the real hoodlums. Okay.
That's what my experience was. You know, I was like, when I was hanging out with the public school kids and I was going to, because, you know, like, I feel like it was like the kids that did drugs that threw the parties and stuff. And, I'd hang out and I was like, damn, there's some shady kids here. You know what I mean? Like, always starting fights or like, you know, doing some drugs I would never want to try, you know?
Yeah. No, like, and I had that experience from like almost day one of my public high school.
Yeah.
And like, I think what I could have done better, or I wish mom and dad set me up better when I went to public school, is that they properly tested me to go into that school, because in that public high school, there's like a level or a set of classes that's for like the smarter kids. That's where all the Asians are at, you know?
Yeah,
and you know me, like I vibe with the fucking Asians, you know? And then when I went, I vibe with the fucking, I mean, come on, like look at my past, it's like, I have so many Asian friend groups, but what do you call it? When I went to public high school, I was like, oh man, like I've gone to school with white kids before, and in elementary and middle school and Catholic school, but now I'm getting like a whole diverse, right? Like I'm getting the kids who barely graduated middle school.
Yeah, you're right.
I experienced that in Spanish class. And oh my God, let me tell you, I had some dummies in that class. Oh my God.
I was a dummy in my own Spanish class.
You were?
Yeah, I was. I was like barely passing, and I feel like my teacher felt bad for me, so she was just like, just do this one thing and I'll give you, you know, a D, you know? I'm like, all right, fine.
You know, that's funny though, because like I wasn't the smartest kid either in high school, but like because they put me in the dumb classes, oh my God, I was a genius in that class. Oh my God. Like all like the cool kids would be like, yo, can you help me out with this question? I'm like, I got you, bro. I got you.
No.
And it was so easy to get an A back then.
No.
Yeah.
I wish I went to your school, because I went to all boys school and I feel like I had like no friends. I mean, there's some benefits to all boys school where it's like, you know, you get to fart in class whenever, or, you know, you didn't really have to care about your hygiene or something, you know, just dudes. So it's like, it was interesting, but at the same time, I hated my time there, because I feel like mom and dad wanted to separate me from the friends I had at the time and who I was hanging out with. I was like, you know, you're not going to go to the same school as them. You're going to a school where you don't know anybody, you know? And it's true. I didn't really know anybody. I knew a couple, but then by like junior year, they had all left they didn't end up staying.
Oh, okay.
And then by like junior year, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah, that's true. I remember you telling me that in high school. And then I remember your graduation, you were telling me like you didn't really know anybody at graduation.
Yeah, I didn't really know anyone, and then it was like I didn't really have like a core like friend group or anything.
Yeah, and
like I didn't really fit in, because like our school was a all boys school, but it was like a sports school. Like all these NBA players went to my high school. Like who was it?
Oh my God!
Oh yeah, who's the most recent one?
And Carl Anthony Towns.
Yeah,
from Carl Anthony Towns. Yes,
and then before that,
Andrew Bynum.
Yeah. That was crazy, because like I remember, I think he was a senior when I was a freshman. I just see him walk the halls, and tall as fuck, and it was funny because like we had like a strict uniform thing, you know, and like if your shirt was untucked, you know, you get a detention, or if you weren't wearing a tie, you get a detention, and like I was like one of those fuckers. I hated to like follow those rules, so I just like slightly slide, you know, and I'd see Bynum, he'd walk around with a do-rag on, and like all the teachers would be like, take it off, and then he would take it off and then put it back on. But of course, they're not going to kick him out, because he's like the star. You know?
That's true.
But my school was like, is either you went there for sports or you went there for academics, you know?
And
I don't fit none of those things at all, dude. And I feel like I couldn't make any friends. I feel like that's why I went into music.
Yeah.
Because I started making beats on like the computer. That MacBook I saved up around like senior year. And then I would just do it in like library at the time. There's like this time in between classes where you could like study halls, what they called it, where you could study or catch up on homework, and then I would just be making beats. And I remember like the jocks would always like make fun of me, like or just like pick on me. And then when I started making beats, I just remember this like one time where it was like I was sitting there, and then one of the jocks came up, took the headphones off. He's like, "What are you doing, man? You making beats with this guy? I think he's Timberland." Then he puts it on, and then he's like, "Oh shit, this shit fire!" He's like, he goes to his other boy, "Yo, listen to this." And they all start rapping around it, And then I feel like that's where I was like, oh, this is how I'm gonna connect with people.
Yeah.
And like I just like latched onto that. And that's kind of how I became cool with everyone in high school, because I was known as that guy who made beats. So I kind of like stuck with that.
You know, I actually experienced like that jock experience or that jock encounter for a day at St. Joe's. You want to know how? So for a lot of Catholic schools, right? There's a lot of these primary Catholic schools that they're trying to recruit because they want those graduates to come to their high school, right? So they have this thing called Freshman for a Day.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Yeah. So when you're in 8th grade, right, you do Freshman for a Day, and you don't. It's like pretty much like a free day from your school, so you don't get marked down for absence.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's a whole chance to get bullied because you're just an 8th grader.
Well, no, that's the thing. So that was funny because was actually part of the story. I saw him on my Freshman for a Day.
Oh my God.
So when I was there for Freshman for a Day, I remember it was like I was with this freshman. I forgot his name, but it was gym class, right?
Yeah.
And then all the seniors were like going up to the freshmen. He's like, all right, let's go. I got you, fresh me, come over here. And then they were like picking teams for something. And I was like, oh my God, this is high school. This is crazy. Oh my God. This is just like Degrassi.
What?
Yeah. Bro. And then even more like I was like, okay, like, oh, maybe the teachers are even scarier, right? And then I was with this kid in his biology class, and then one of the guys forgot his paper, and the professor's like, okay, have fun repeating my class next year. And then I was like, shit, what? You know? It was crazy because like, I mean, it's St. Joe's, so like you said, it's like they're there for academics, so they're pretty strict, and like the teachers are probably like assholes.
Yeah.
But funny thing, when I ran into we were going through, it was like time when everyone's changing classes, right? And then Rainer saw me, he's like, oh, Noel! And then he gives me a big hug. Yeah. But then he looks at the freshman that's taking me around. He grabs him by the shirt. Don't fuck with him, okay? And then I was even like, oh my God.
Bro.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, like he's being really nice to me. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
But like just going back to why I wanted to go to St. Joe's in the first place was because like I remember during Cassie's Sweet 16 days when we had to practice for it.
Yeah.
And even for Sam's, right?
Yeah.
That's where I met for the first time. So it's really like meeting them what really made me want to go, because they were just like dumb nice to me every time they came to the house. They would always talk to me. Like, I don't know, I just felt really comfortable talking to them whenever Cassie brought them to the house. And like me, naturally, I would always hang out with Cassie's friends, and they were like one of the first sets, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
A lot of them were dancing. Like just seeing them like in a dance circle, I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I like dance, and these guys are pretty cool.
That's when you started dancing too.
Yeah, that's pretty much when I started getting into dancing.
So you felt like if you went to St. Joe's, you'd be hanging out with them.
Yeah, or at least form my own group. And I also honestly, like if you think about it, a lot of Filipinos are Catholic. Yeah. And then a lot of Filipinos go through Catholic school, so there would be a higher chance of me like kind of forming a new Filipino friend group. Because by the end of like St. John Vianney, like honestly, I only had really one friend. I wasn't really like that close with anyone. I was kind of just like hanging out with whoever would hang out with me. Yeah. And I was like looking at that as like a new opportunity to like kind of like form a new friend group.
I feel like mom and dad sent the rest of you guys. It was just me and Cassie, the two oldest siblings that ended up going to Catholic high schools, because like they noticed like the payoff wasn't worth it.
No. I think now if they look back at it, they were probably like, "Oh, we sent the wrong two."
Yeah, they probably did, man. Because I don't know what, like, mom and dad really thought I could be like academically successful. Like I remember like SATs, like I remember the first time I crashed and burned, right? And then my mom and dad were like, just try again, like you can do it. And they sent me to like these YMCA like SAT courses to like prep for it. And then it was bad because Leo, my best friend Leo, was there too, and like we would just cut the class like as soon as mom and dad dropped us off, and we go to the basketball court at the YMCA and just cut the class and play basketball. Like I just did not care, and like I don't know. And every time I took the test, it was just simply like I would like read the question, or like, you know, like they give you multiple choice answers and then you have to read like this whole 2-page thing and then answer these questions. Like for some reason I just couldn't read the 2-page essay or whatever. And then I would just like kind of guess. I would just always guess. Like something in me was like, I don't care.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Care.
I mean, I was the same way with testing,
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was like, I
Like
feel
you did well in your SATs?
Oh, no, I did horrible. Like, in one of the, so with college, right? The only reason why I went to Montclair is because they didn't really accept the SAT score.
What?
Yeah, I took the SATs and I probably did just as bad as you, where I got like a quarter of the percentage of the score that you get. So like if it's like a 1200, I probably got like a 600 or even lower.
I just remember mom and dad just never bringing up my SAT score to anyone, Like,
yeah, I mean, like
yeah, he took it.
It's like the same thing for me too. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, the only person who really did well on the SATs or even ACTs is probably only Gabe. He probably just did enough to get into Rutgers, and then Rika did well just because she knew she wanted to use that to get out of Jersey and go to a school out of state.
Yeah.
And me, like, I don't know, me, you, and Cassie, I think we were all the same, like, where we don't do standardized testing well.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, even though, like, I was in, so you know how I told you there's, like, dumber classes and then there's smarter classes? First 2 years, I was in the dumber classes, right? And I was, like, cruising through, getting A's. And then I was like, you know what? I want to make a change. I want to move up to the smarter classes so I could finally, like, be with the people I fuck with, right?
Yeah.
And then it was junior year, right? And I'm taking all these like smarter classes. And like, this is when I really realized I'm not really that smart. It's because like I start getting C's, I start failing tests, and I'm start like getting endangered where I'm getting like almost like an F in my quarters.
Whoa.
And like it was kind of like a shell shock because like I was like I thought I was meant here. And then also too, when like there was some people who I was able to befriend in those classes, but I feel like most of them like I feel like it was like a little competitive, or people weren't there willing to help you out if you were struggling.
Wow.
Yeah, the only time I got help was when I actually like forced myself to go ask for help from the teacher.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I feel like that was
I could see that being a competitive thing. Like all the nerds like, oh, I better get the best grade over you.
No, yeah.
I ain't helping you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, I feel like that was like the first time in a while where I was in an Asian group and I felt like left out, casted out. Is because like I didn't fit in with like the smarts, and like I don't know, that was probably one of the high school, and you could relate because of what you just told me about. Like high school was probably like one of the times where I felt the most outcasted, and luckily like I had like a friend group outside of high school, and like I had a girlfriend at the time to kind of like make sure like I wasn't really just by myself the whole time,
Oh, that's what's up. I mean, like being the outcast of high school is kind of like a good thing in like the movies and stuff. It's like, and it's always like, like the ones that are killing it in high school is just peak in high school. That seems to be true. I just look back some of the kids in high school and like all the ones that were, popular, like, I don't know, like they ain't popping no more.
Yeah. No, I see the same thing in my high school, and like, I don't know, like a good thing to look at that is like if you just go on Facebook and you see whoever's still using Facebook, I'm just okay, I see where you're at now.
Yeah, I like to look back sometimes. I'm like, this is where you ended up. That's funny. Like people like old bullies and stuff. I'm just like,
yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying too. It's like I remember like when in high school where I was like, oh damn, I wish like I was invited to that party and I was like included. And then now I look back and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I saved my money and didn't go to the Jersey Shore for prom weekend, Or
even like old crushes I had in high school. I would like I would sometimes look back on Facebook and I'd be like, wow, I really had a crush on you. That is so crazy. Like I can't believe it,
Oh my God, yeah.
It's funny.
Way. Yeah.
But high school, I don't know. It's like as far as I like to say, like I had a bad time, but would I go back and change it? Nah, right? Because like I feel like it made me who I am.
Would I go back and change it? The only thing that I would go back, actually, you know what? You're right, because I think one of my best memories from high school is not that I like actually being in the school, but like all the stuff I did outside. Like all the stuff I did outside really got me into dance. Because I did a lot of, like, I had a lot of friends outside of high school. And, like, to be honest, like, I pretty much was, like, friends with all of my past girlfriends' friends. And I always hanged out with them. I don't know. I really liked being in, like, a court or a cotillion and, like, kind of learning how to do ballroom dance. And I also liked being, like, the best one in it. So it's, like, it kind of gave me a confidence boost. But you're right. I mean, like, if I don't know. Like, I wouldn't change that part of high school because, like, it got me more creative.
If you had to fit into the high school cliche, what would you be? What would you have been?
Oh, like a profile, like the jock or the
or the in the movie,
that's. I mean, I'll go Oh, okay. You know what? One movie that like I feel like sometimes I relate to in a way is Perks of Being a Wallflower. Ever seen
I've
that
seen
movie?
that, but I'm not. I forget.
So he's pretty much like this quiet kid who doesn't like have anyone to talk to. Like, for example, like I remember like the first scene, he's like struggling to figure out who to eat lunch with. And like that was me like literally the first week of freshman week of high school.
Really?
Because I didn't know anyone. And then like I didn't know anyone in my lunch period.
Yeah.
So like I would just find a spot to eat by myself. And then like
Yeah, that's funny because I was the same guy.
I'm telling you, man, we were the same.
Like, I would say freshman year. Like I knew people like going in freshman year, but like a lot of times we didn't have the same lunch, or yeah. And sometimes I would find people, but 80% of the time I was eating lunch by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, man. I mean, like that's what it was. I mean, I obviously, but as the years went on, I like learned a strategy where like I would find someone and then I would just sit with them for lunch for like the whole year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I feel like freshman year was the hardest, and then like it was like the most scared I was socially, just because like I was really scared of what people were gonna think about me. Like I didn't want to start off high school like the cliche, like you don't want to start off cliche in high school as the like weird one. I like feel like I fit that in a little way, but like as I grew more and like went through the years, I kind of like I don't know. I feel like that image kind of went away, or at least I made do with it.
I feel like mine started like freshman year. I knew people coming in, but as they started leaving, like they started transferring out to different schools. I feel like junior year, freshman year, I was like eating lunch by myself the whole time.
Oh yeah,
yeah, kind of.
Oh,
or I felt like I feel like I knew people, but like I wasn't close with them. Like they all say what's up, but then like not they have their own clique, and I wouldn't like eat with them.
That's fair. Yeah, no, I mean like I think that's mine was the opposite because junior and senior year, that's when I started like trying to open myself up to more opportunities. That's when I did like I helped like a teacher out with like he did like a pageant, like those Mr. High School or whatever, but they did like a teacher version. Yeah. So I helped him like choreograph like a Michael Jackson Thriller thing for his set, and then I did theater my junior year. I was in the Heights. I was a principal dancer.
Kid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, me and Rico were in that.
Oh, really?
And then I also did the school talent show too. So
for
like
dancing.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember seeing a video of that.
Yeah, I mean, I danced a lot and I kept on dancing in high school, and like I like that,
No, it's true.
Yeah. And then you kept on making beats.
Yeah, I like stuck to that, dude. I was like, this is my whole identity.
Wait, didn't you had like a small friend group that you were making? Oh wait, no. Who were you making? Were you making music with anyone at the time, or were you just solo dolo?
It was always like Andrew. Remember Andrew and
oh yes,
Andrew, and then it was mainly Andrew.
Did you make any music with Brendan at the time, or no?
Not so much, like because he was a little younger.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But like we would, meet up and like from time to time. But I feel like at the time it was like Andrew because he was like rapping.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I'll make the beats. You be the rapper.
Yeah.
And it was fun because I felt like I grew from that a lot. Just like learning how to do that dynamic. But what I really just love to do is just make beats. Most of the time I made music by myself, I would say, but. Yeah, randomly I'd bring people over. Like if I make music. Oh, cool. And I feel like that's why I like invested in a studio. Like any money I had, like originally I was gonna buy a car. Every like high school kid's dream is to have a car, and I was like, I'm just gonna buy a laptop and speakers and stuff. And then if I did have friends, like, I got a studio, let's make stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I always try to remember like, it was fun though. Like I used to hate my music every time I'd like be making beats, and I'm just like, I hate this. Why doesn't it sound like the stuff I listen to? Like I used to hate myself, but I always wanted to like try to like be better. But it was fun. I feel like that's why I feel like what high school was for me was just like learning how to actually make music. So by the time I got to college, I was like, I know how to do this shit.
I feel that. That. Damn, so we were just in our creative bags back in high school then.
Yeah, I really was. You saw me. Like we shared the same room. Like
yeah, I know. Oh my,
was just be on the computer making beats.
Yeah, I remember I couldn't fall asleep because of the blue light just fucking in my eyes. I'm like, God, when is this guy gonna fucking go to sleep? Jesus Christ.
And I was just headphoning. You could probably still hear it in the headphones too.
Probably.
Yeah.
Now that you bring it up, like again, like you never really went out to parties either. Like you were just
barely
in the bedroom.
I was never invited.
I was never really invited to parties either, but like, even like the friend group, I feel like I didn't really start drinking until maybe like junior year of high school.
Yeah.
But even then, like the parties weren't that crazy. It was mostly when like Vince and Rainer, when they would go out to drink and we would go to Vince's house and Vince drink in his backyard.
Yeah.
Like again, like Cassie was like a big influence and her friends to me.
Yeah,
like partying and stuff and like making sure like I wasn't really like lonely in high school,
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go through the trenches by myself. Nah, but I had Leo and Mookie for sure.
Yeah.
But like sometimes they couldn't take me to places because I didn't they'd go to a party and then like from their high school and they didn't know me, so like can't bring me.
I don't think you would have enjoyed it, and I don't think I would have enjoyed it either. Because I remember I went to one right after prom.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I didn't like the vibes. It was I felt like someone was about to get into a fight, some couple was arguing.
Oh, it's always
everyone's like gossiping. Oh, they're about to fuck, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Oh my god, there's some funny times. Like me and Leo and Mook always bring it up where it was the one time I was at a party, it was like, everyone's having a good time, and then that one bad kid from that high school came, and the whole vibe changed. Like walked in and was just like trying to fight anyone he just saw. Was just like, why are you looking at me that way? And then starts punching people, right? And then I remember Leo was targeted, right? And then like he starts punching Leo, and then Leo always likes loves to make fun of me because he saw me from the corner, like pretending like I'm not even seeing anything, and I'm just sweeping the floor of broken glass that he had thrown, and then he always be making it a joke every time I see him, or we bring up memories from high school. He's like, I remember when Frankie was punching me. I see you in the corner of the eye, not doing nothing, and you were just sweeping glass.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh my god, bro.
There was this. I've only seen one fight in high school, but it was literally the craziest shit I've ever seen. We were in like biology class, and I forgot what they were arguing about. I think it was like about a boy.
Yeah,
but the girl just like came up to her and she's like, "So you two smashing?" And then they started fucking like pulling each other's hair.
Oh my
but then
god.
One of them, I don't know how she got it, but she was able to like hold her hair and she was banging her head against the window. And then there was blood on it, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's some crazy shit in high school too.
Yeah,
like interesting thing too. Like I feel like high school fights was barely like 1-on-1s. It would always be like talking shit, and then always be like 5-on-7, or it would always be like a bunch of people fighting. Never
How long did it last?
I don't know. It'd be like 2 minutes or like whatever. And then,
mine would literally be like 30 seconds to a minute.
Fighting's tiring.
I mean, I feel like someone would get, at least in those times, someone would just get in the middle of it right away. But
yeah. Luckily, I never got into a fight in high school.
No.
I feel like one time I felt like I was initiating a fight, but I don't know. Like we were playing basketball or something, and he just pissed me off, and then I just like threw him to the ground. I wanted to call it a fight, but
really?
Nah, but I just like threw him to the ground. He didn't do anything, but it was like he was kind of like a smaller kid. I felt like I wanted to just do that. I don't know. It was weird. High school's a weird time, guys. Okay, you're just trying to figure it out, right? But,
oh my god! But my last memory from high school, it was kind of embarrassing because like it was like the principal brought in all the seniors.
Yeah,
they were doing awards, right? And I was like, oh, I didn't get anything. Like I was just chilling here. Yeah. And then out of nowhere, and the principal's like, okay, guys, before we end this, we have actually one more award, and it's actually pretty amazing. We just found this out last minute, but can Emmanuel Beltran come to the stage? And I was like, what the fuck?
You had no idea what it was.
And then, oh, wait, what?
You had no idea what it was?
No, I had no idea what it was. And I was like, what could this be? I barely did anything. And then the principal's like, in the past 2 or 3 years, we haven't had a senior who's done this, but Emmanuel Beltran has only missed 1 day of high school. And then I was like, oh my God, that's my fucking record.
I didn't walk, right?
Huh?
I didn't walk.
You didn't walk?
Because I got suspended from school at the last year of senior year.
You did? High school?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, so what happened?
Because remember, I got caught like right at the end of senior year for cutting school for like 7 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't catch me until the end or something. I don't know how, but I got
shit.
suspended and I couldn't walk because I was suspended for like 8 days or something. But then there wasn't even 8 days left of school, and then they were like, "You got to come for the summer thing."
Oh, yeah, I don't know why. I feel like I saw you walk.
Really?
Was there something? I could have sworn I seen you in a green robe. That's why.
You gotta ask mom. Yeah.
But cutting school. So I was a goody two shoes. Like I didn't do anything that you did.
Yeah,
I wasn't sneaking in backyards stealing shit. But
I was like a typical rebel. I feel like
the most rebel thing I did was I tried to skip school for one day. Wait, I think you were there. Really? Remember? Because so it was like a day after like a debut or a Sweet 16. And like I had to go back to school, but I was really tired. And what I did was like I dropped off Rika. This is when I was driving at the time. And then I was like, Rika, I'm not going to school. And she's like, okay. And then I went to my my last girlfriend's house. And then what do you call it? They called. Oh, so what I did, hoping mom and dad wouldn't answer the phone, I unplugged the phone, the whole house phone. But then they ended up calling mom's cell phone. And they were like, your son didn't come to school. And then mom texted me. But then do you remember? This was like a day when you were either going back to Boston or LA. But I met up with you guys at Sushi Palace because you were going, they were having like a going away lunch for you. And I had to meet you guys at Sushi Palace. And then you were like, let's go! Let's go! Rebel!
That's definitely my energy right there.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's so funny.
Yeah, but that's the worst thing I did in high school.
Well, that's high school, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not the best years, but formative years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Learning years.
Learning years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it all worked out after that, so very good.
Woo!
Woo!
So I think that's our episode. Let's call it.